Hi, and welcome to the Psychology of Human Behavior. In this video, you are going to learn the signs of anxiety and what to do to reduce your anxiety. Anxiety is normal to stressful events in your life. This could be something like moving, financial problems, or even changing jobs. When they start interfering with your daily life, and the anxiety becomes bigger than the problem, this could be signs of an anxiety disorder. Recognizing the symptoms of anxiety disorders is the first step to managing them with your doctor. These are the common symptoms of an anxiety disorder. 1. Feeling agitated. When you start feeling anxious, your sympathetic nervous system goes into overdrive, which causes you to have various symptoms. These symptoms are racing pulse, sweaty palms, dry mouth, shaky hands. Your brain thinks you have sensed danger, so it is preparing your body to react to the threat. It starts moving your blood away from your digestive system to your muscles. It also increases your heart rate, and heightens your senses. People with anxiety disorders cannot reduce their arousal as fast as people without anxiety disorders. This means people with anxiety disorders experience this for a longer period of time. 2. Fatigue. Becoming fatigued easily is another symptom of anxiety disorder. Fatigue can be followed by an anxiety attack, and in other people, fatigue can be long-term. It is unclear whether fatigue is related to other symptoms of anxiety like insomnia or muscle tension, or the effects of hormones of chronic anxiety. Fatigue alone is not enough to diagnose an anxiety disorder, because it can be a sign of depression or another medical condition. 3. Irritability. Most people with anxiety disorders have excessive irritability. Most young adults with anxiety disorder have twice as much irritability in their daily lives. This is not surprising, since anxiety is associated with excessive worrying and high arousal. 4. Tense muscles. If you have tense muscles most of the week, this is another known symptom of anxiety. It is not known why muscle tenseness is associated with anxiety. It is possible that anxiety could lead to the increase of muscle tenseness, or muscle tenseness increases the feelings of anxiety. One way to treat muscle tension is with muscle relaxation therapy. It has been shown to reduce the worry in people with anxiety disorder. There are some studies that show it to be just as effective as cognitive behavioral therapy. 5. Excessive worrying. The worrying with anxiety disorders seems much bigger than everyday situations. To be considered as a sign of anxiety disorder, it has to occur for at least 6 months and is difficult to control. It also is too difficult to concentrate and hard to do daily tasks. Generally, people who are under 65 and have many life stressors, are single, and lower income class, are at the highest risk of anxiety disorders. 6. Trouble falling asleep or staying asleep. Sleep troubles are associated with anxiety disorders. The two most common problems people reported are having trouble falling asleep at night and waking up in the middle of the night. It has been suggested by researchers that having insomnia as a kid could even be linked to anxiety later in life. It is unknown whether anxiety contributes to insomnia or if insomnia contributes to anxiety. But one thing is for sure: insomnia and anxiety are strongly linked together. 7. Difficulty concentrating. Many people with anxiety have difficulty concentrating. Researchers found anxiety can interrupt working your short-term memory. This might explain the decrease in performance that is often experienced during high anxiety. Again, difficulty concentrating is not enough to be diagnosed with anxiety disorder, because it also could be symptoms of depression or attention deficit disorder, or other medical conditions. 8. Panic attacks. Panic disorder is another type of anxiety disorder. It is when you have recurring panic attacks. Panic attacks are an intense, overwhelming sensation of fear. These other symptoms follow right after, which are nausea, sweating, rapid heartbeat, fear of dying, or feeling like you are losing control, shaking, shortness of breath, and chest tightness. When your panic attacks occur frequently and unexpectedly, it could be a sign of panic disorder. 9. Avoiding social gatherings. You might be showing signs of social anxiety disorder if you find yourself have a feeling of anxiousness or fear about social gatherings. Being worried about being judged or scrutinized by others. Having a fear of being humiliated in front of people. You avoid certain social gatherings because of these fears. Most people with social anxiety appear to be very shy and quiet with a group of people or when they are meeting new people. They may not look distressed on the outside, but on the inside, they are feeling fear and anxiety. This can make a person look like they are snobbish or standoffish, but people with social anxiety disorder suffer from low self-esteem, depression, and high self-criticism. 10. Restlessness. Restlessness is another common symptom of anxiety. It is often described as a feeling of an urge to move or feeling on edge. Restlessness typically happens in children and teenagers. Doctors look for restlessness as one of the red flags when making a diagnosis for anxiety disorder. Restlessness alone is not enough to diagnose an anxiety disorder, but this is one of the signs. 11. Irrational fears. Having extreme fears about certain things like heights, drowning, tight spaces, and spiders could be a sign of a phobia. A phobia is high anxiety or fear about something or a situation. This feeling interferes with your ability to function properly. Some common phobias include blood, injection, or injury phobias. This is a fear of blood, injections, or injuries. Situational phobias. The fear of a certain situation like riding in a car or going over bridges or in tunnels. Natural environment phobias such as a fear of storms or flooding. Animal phobias. It can refer to a fear of a specific animal or insects. Another phobia is agoraphobia, which is a fear of two or more of the following. Being in a crowd or in a line. Being outside of the home alone. Using public transportation. Being in tight spaces. Being in open spaces. To reduce anxiety the natural way. Exercising regularly. This is linked to lower the risk of developing an anxiety disorder. Eating healthy. Have a diet that is rich in veggies, fruits, fish, nuts, good quality meats, and whole grain. This can lower the risk of developing anxiety disorders, but eating healthy alone is not enough to treat the disorder. Limiting caffeine. Having caffeine makes the feeling of anxiety worse, especially for those with anxiety disorders. Stop smoking. Smoking increases the risk of developing an anxiety disorder. When you stop smoking, it also improves your mental health. Stop drinking alcohol. It might help to stay away from alcohol since anxiety disorders and alcohol abuse are linked. Meditate. Meditation helps to reduce the symptoms in people with anxiety disorders. Yoga. Practicing yoga regularly reduces the symptoms in people with anxiety disorders. When should you seek professional help? It is important to seek help if your anxiety symptoms are severe, regardless of how long you have been having them. There are licensed doctors that treat anxiety disorders, like psychiatrists and psychologists. These treatments are medications, therapy, and CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy. Working with a doctor can help you reduce your symptoms and manage your anxiety safely. I hope you enjoyed the information we provided for you. If you did, let me know what you liked or learned. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, so you can be notified when I upload a new video.